So I'm going to have to leave that up. I'm sorry. Just tell us a little about what you do, your family, and then share a bit about what you do and how you link your Christian values and biblical values to leadership. So, without further ado, let's welcome you. Okay?
Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope you don't mind if I take my jacket off.
It's okay.
It's a bit warm in Nairobi today. Let me just start by introducing myself. Bill told you part of my name, because the truth is it's a little bit longer than that. So Richard is correct and Kiplagat is also correct, but in between I'm also called Raharinyaina, I'm also called Kipruto, I'm also called Kofi. And that's actually quite a mouthful. Richard, Raharinyaina, Kipruto, Kofi, Kiplagat. And, you know, it tells a story in and of itself. I was born in Ghana in the same year that Neil Armstrong walked on the surface of the moon. So that tells you sort of approximately how young I am. But I was born in Ghana to a mother from Madagascar and a father from Kenya. And when you are in Ghana, you are named based on the day of the week. And so Kofi relates to the fact that I was born on a Friday. Kipruto, which is a Kalenjin name, is because I was born while they were out of the country or on a journey. And so that's what that means. And Raharinyaina is a very long name, and it will take more than an hour to explain the meaning of that, but it's from Madagascar as well. But that also brings me to some of my other identity. So I see myself really as a Pan-Africanist. I believe in this continent, and I believe that the fact that I have roots across the breadth of this continent has given me a perspective about how important and how special the place of Africa is in the world. And I'm glad to see here that there are people from many different places, including John Arwind from one of my favorite countries, and the youngest independent country in Africa, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. So that's part of my identity. Another part of my identity is that I am an avid supporter of Manchester United. Solskjaer is officially the coach. That's great news. Bill, I know, is in my camp, and I know there may be some others that are not, but that's part of my identity. Another part of my identity, however, is that I am a patriot of this country, and even though I grew up all over the world, I moved on from Ghana to doing kindergarten in Khartoum, in northern or in Sudan. I went to do primary school in France, and I did my beginning of my secondary school in the UK. This for me has always been home, and this is really where my heart is. And my family are here, and I've got 3 kids. Some a little bit older than the kid, because my eldest is 17. I've got a 14-year-old who will soon be 15, and I've got a 9-year-old. And this is really where my heart is, and I really love this country. But above all of that is that I'm a Christian.
Amen.
Yes. And that I love the Lord Jesus Christ with all my heart. And I've given my life to Him, and I have the privilege of calling Bill my mentor, and so we meet on a regular basis, and we talk about life, and we talk about our faith, and we talk about what it takes to get through this life. That is a challenging life with with the grace of God. And so for me, it's a great privilege that you've entrusted an hour of these bright minds to my time. I thank you very much. I also have a day job, and I work for a company called Africa Practice. It is it's an interesting job. We have about 7 offices across the continent. We've been around for about 15 years, and the purpose or the vision of Africa Practice is to be the single most catalytic private sector actor in the development of this country, of this continent. And we believe that we have a role to play in achieving that by helping this continent in the way it is understood and the way that others engage with the continent and how we engage with those that come and invest and work and operate on the continent. We believe that you can have all the money in the world and all the technical ability, but there is another dimension, a dimension called relationships, where you don't have a contract, where it is not about law, where it is about goodwill. And that, for us, is a key ingredient for success on the continent. And it's amazing because it matters more and more today in a reality where the continent is much more democratic, where you see much more accountability, where the media is free. You have to take into consideration all these key stakeholders that are outside of your organization, but that have the potential to significantly impact the way you operate, the way you compete, and the degree of success that you have. And so we work with many organizations. Many of them are in the private sector who are investing significant amounts of capital on the continent, but as well as private sector, but as well as public sector organizations and NGOs and non-governmental organizations, such as the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, but also people like Microsoft and Coca-Cola and other large organizations, who know that in order to be successful on the continent of Africa, you need to win the goodwill of media, government, civil society, regulators, communities. And we work in engaging all those various stakeholders on behalf of those organizations, making sure we know what is important to those organizations, making sure that they understand how to engage, what is the message, but also very importantly, who is the messenger. And so it's a fun organization. Every day is different. Sometimes, yesterday I was working with a financial institution that was having issues about safety deposit boxes. And the other week, I was working with a company that had some challenges. They're trying to, I don't know whether you know, one of the most sobering statistics is that 13% of the blood available in hospitals in Kenya, 13% of it is contaminated. And so that is a huge challenge. We've been working with a coalition and a number of people to change the standards in how blood is collected and managed and stored. And that requires changes in law, which requires engaging government and parliament. And so we work in different sectors, different challenges, different issues. But today I wanted to talk to you about why I enjoy my job so much. And for me, it's because I can see an opportunity to contribute to the well-being, but also to serve. And I have a number of different things that we've done, and if we had some slides, I'd be able to show you. A few years ago, we were working with the African Union to try and look at how to change the way it was run, and I was part of Amina Mohammed's campaign team to try and and get her to be the chairperson of the African Union. But that opportunity gave me, or that assignment gave me an opportunity to really reflect about our continent and reflect about where we have come from and where we're going. And I'd just like to share with you some thoughts about why you as Christian leaders are central to the future of this country and to this continent. I have a picture here which is very small, but I'll pass it around. I don't know whether you want to have a look, pass it around and see whether anybody can recognize the people there. Let me just pass it around a little quicker so that the others get an opportunity to try and see. Any ideas? No?
How you share this one is here.
I doubt that you will be able to identify where that is.
Oscar, yes. Take a picture and send.
And WhatsApp.
And send to WhatsApp.
No.
By the way, I can do that, but it's actually just a conversation starter, so don't worry about it too much. Yeah, that is. This is a picture that was taken at the 5th Pan-African Congress in Manchester in 1945. Now, does anybody here know why that is relevant?
1950 what?
1945, the 5th Pan-African Congress in Manchester.
Guys.
No?
What?
1945.
Second World War.
Just after.
After the Second World War.
Yes, sir.
Was it associated with LegCo?
LegCo? Interesting. Maybe, sir?
Could it have been organized by the people who are pushing for independence? African countries.
Aha, very good. You haven't seen, but it doesn't matter. It's an old photograph. I think this is a very bright class because indeed, the 5th Pan-African Congress of 1945 was material in that it was a gathering of, I must admit, predominantly men, apologies ladies, but they were students. They had no money, they had no guns, they had no authority, they were not leaders in government.
Or nobodies.
Sorry?
Nobodies of sort.
They were technically nobodies. I will tell you what they said. They said, we are determined to be free. We want education, we want the right to earn a decent living, the right to express our thoughts and emotions, to adopt and create forms of beauty. And they were speaking to the colonial powers of that time. These few seemingly powerless people made that declaration and had the audacity to make that declaration at that time without any of the things that one would think are means to achieve it. And I am proud to say that that moment in history demonstrates the power of vision and resolve, and more importantly, leadership. Because the realities are that today, when you look at what they had determined to achieve, on the whole, they have achieved it. Now, it has taken quite some time. But today, the reality is that when you look at literacy rates across the continent, we barely talk about them anymore. what is the percentage of Kenyans that can read and write of adult age? It's almost 100%, isn't it? Nobody talks about literacy being a key issue anymore. When you look at issues such as infant mortality, the drop in infant mortality has been tremendous. From a high only 30 years ago, in excess of, sorry, let me just check my notes here. In excess of 200 for every 1,000 births. To today, only, I think there are very few spots that are everyone is below 20 for every 1,000 births. So dramatic improvements in that. We all are beneficiaries of the mobile phone revolution. And if you look at mobile phone penetration on the continent, it is one of the highest in the world, and in fact, one of the fastest growing. If you look at armed conflict, we have reduced the number of armed conflicts over the space of the last 15 years from over 20 to, we can name them, yeah? They're very limited. We've got some conflict in Somalia. We do have some conflict in Darfur in that area. There is some conflict in Eastern Congo, in Eastern DRC. But there's a handful compared to where we were when there was civil war in Angola, where there was Biafra in Nigeria, where there was the war in southern Sudan. There has been tremendous improvement in so far as peace is concerned. But the key has been first and foremost, a singular, homegrown vision that is African, about where we want to go as Africans. Not somebody else's agenda, not a China-Africa strategy, not a World Bank strategy, but an Africa homegrown vision of where we want to go. A vision that includes food security, the reduced cost of energy, improved infrastructure, universal and modernized education, improved services to the citizen, and regional integration. And these are now embedded in most African countries around the objectives that we want to see. But what prevents us from getting there? One of the key things that we find is that stability. I think many of you may have heard that in independence in 1963, Kenya was at the same place as South Korea in terms of GDP. But the difference has been since then, we have grown in bursts. There have been 5-year seasons of growth, followed by drops in growth, followed by 5 years, then grow like that. When you grow in that manner, you don't grow very fast. As opposed to cumulative growth where you grow 5%, even if you grow at 3%, but you're growing 3% upon 3% upon 3% upon 3%. So the stability of our continent is a key determinant to the rapid development of the continent. Stability counts. The second thing that we are challenged with is our mindset. You see, the greatness of a nation is not determined by what God gives you in terms of natural resources. I'll give you an example. Countries such as Switzerland. What natural resources does Switzerland have that make it the biggest exporter of chocolate in a company called this? Is there a single in Switzerland? Right? So the greatness of a country is not related to the natural resources that it has. It doesn't even refer to the age of a nation. There are many countries that are very old, and there are countries that are very young. An example of that may be Singapore versus maybe a very old country, like what a good example of a very old country is a country like maybe Vietnam, Cambodia. Now, how about race? Does our race determine the greatness of our country? The size of the country, geographical size. Some countries are very small, like Dubai, and other countries are very large, like Russia. Or the size of our population. Monaco, very small population, very high income. Or a very interesting example of New Zealand, which recently had the pressures that it had. With a population of about 8 million, 9 million people. And Rwanda, same number. Right? So, the key thread that runs through the success of a nation tends to be the mindset of its people and what it does with the resources, great or small, that God has given. The degree of custodianship and the way they utilize these in a responsible manner. This continent has 55 countries. Out of those 55 countries, 23 of those countries have the mention of the word God in their national anthem. This is fundamentally a spiritual continent, a continent that believes in God. And yet the things that ail us, such as corruption, such as insecurity, such as social unrest, poor governance, are all related in the realm of ethics and values that a spiritual continent should be leveraging to become greater than it is today. And so, our job is to use our Christian ethical base to inspire a change in mindset in our country, in our communities, in our workplace, to unleash the potential of a population that has the right mindset, that can take what we have been given by God, great or small, and turn it into prosperity, a better livelihood, a better lifestyle for our people. Key to the future success of our continent, I would like to add, is vision beyond our lifetime. Because those people in that photo did not live to see the fruits of their vision. But too often, we are asking about 2022 and what will happen between now and 2022. There is an absence of thought and vision beyond our lifetime. And real change happens when you think that way, when you think big. There is need for us as people who adhere to values to find peaceful and constitutional ways of resolving conflict. So the conversations around conflict, Christians need to be part of that conversation and need to lead people to peaceful and constitutional means of resolving those conflicts. That will stop us from having this seesaw of growth we talked about. We need leadership that is sacrificial. Leadership that doesn't think about themselves, but thinks about how they can help others. It is clear that those leaders in Manchester in 1945 sacrificed even their lives in order to bring prosperity to our country. And then it is important that we lead lives that are anchored in ideals and principles. And ours, here in this room and in our community, are ideals and principles of our God, of Christ. And so I would like to put a challenge to you. Get involved. Find a way, place in your workplace, in your community, in your social circle, in your home, where you can inspire the right mindset, driven by ideals and Christian values, driven by a vision that is beyond your lifetime. It is vital that you accompany that with prayer and study of the Bible, of His Word, in meditation, so that you are guided by our principles as Christians. I also am a firm believer in seeking God's grace and not being too worried about what you can do as a human being. I think that if you worry about that, you will give yourself a lot of limitations. But I think that with a dependence on God's grace, things that may seem beyond your own ability become very possible.
Amen.
And so, I'd like to ask you to take initiative to live sacrificially and to leave a legacy. I think that a time like this calls for ordinary people like us to do extraordinary things by the grace of God.
Mm.
And hopefully that sparks some thoughts and gives you a little bit of inspiration. Thank you.